Hello, it's me, Patrick Sheriff, reporting to you live, kind of, at least one take, I hope, from Abikan, Japan. And today is the 21st day of November and the 21st day of NaNoWriMo, the mission to write a 50,000 word novel in one day. I wrote 1,200 words today, so I'm now over the 42,000 mark, just over 42,000 and some loose change. So 8,000, less than 8,000 words to go. Feeling confident that I'll make it. So that's all good. Is the quality there? I'm not sure. I mean, with all of these NaNoWriMo projects, you can't really judge whether the quality's there until after. As I've said before, there's lots of snobbery about, oh, you can't possibly write in, if writing quickly can't possibly be good. Well, in the first draft, I'd say, yes, write quickly. Yeah, it probably won't be good, but any first draft won't be good. It's a first draft. So, it's not supposed to be good. It's just supposed to be, have you got the story out there? Is there some potential? If I cleaned this bit up and cleaned that bit up, would it be really good, potentially? And if the answer is yes, then it's a success. So forget quality, feel the width. Right, what to report? What else? That's about it for today's writing. I had a morning off, and as usual in my morning I didn't really do much. I did two 25-minute stints, and that got me my 1,200 words. But, I could have keep telling myself, I should do 2,000 words in the morning when I've got a morning off, but I never seem to do that. So, but anyway, so be it. If you're keeping a steady roll of words, that's fine. You'll get there in the end. Okay, what else? Today's tip is, if you're a bit stuck of what to write in a scene, try going straight to the dialogue and write out the dialogue as like you would in a play, as a script, without any kind of direction, just the two characters speaking with quote marks. You don't even have to put the characters' names in there necessarily. Because if you do that, you get into a flow. It's quite natural. It feels quite natural to have a conversation. And he says this, and then say that, and then repeat, and blah 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 blah. And you can be a bit witty and put things together. And then, later you can come back and revise it and stick in asides and stick in bits that didn't, anything that doesn't make sense or needs explanation of the quotes. You can do that later. But the important thing is you've moved it forward. And hopefully, in good dialogue, you've also moved the story forward, because they're saying something that has some impact on the story. And also shows a character, by the kinds of things that they say. Anyway, I find it quite fun doing that, and actually can be quite liberating. Sometimes they say things that surprise me, and I think, oh, I'll need to seed that in an earlier scene. Like they make a reference to something, and I'm writing something, and I think, oh, wouldn't it be cool if they referred to something that had happened in the past, but it hasn't happened in the past. Okay, I'm an author, I can make it happen in the past. I can go back and do it, put in an interesting scene or a reference to something else earlier in the book that they can then refer to then. But that's where editing comes in, not right at that moment. I just put a little XXX or note to myself or at the side on the margin. Or if you're using Scrivener, you can use a different panel, you write in there, but write it on the back of an envelope. Wherever you write your notes, it can be helpful. So if you're stuck, start writing a dialogue between two characters, and that can help the scene move forward. Okay, I need to give you a book reference. I'm going to give you a reference to Raymond Chandler's, I'm not sure how you say it, Raymond Chandler's The Simple Art of Murder. Here it is. I think I've referred to it before in previous videos, not in this series, but in this Abikan Life series early on. It's a collection of his short stories, and where the title of the book, The Simple Art of Murder, comes from, is his essay. It's brilliant if you're writing detective fiction or mysteries. Brilliant essay on what makes an archetypal hero for crime fiction. Now, whether you like Raymond Chandler or not, or whether you write hard-boiled or not, he really explains, not a cliche, but a trope. I mean, he invented the trope, or more or less, of this style of detective. And once you read this, you go, oh yeah, that's every hard-boiled detective ever that was ever written. So it goes on quite a bit, but there's the last. I recommend the last three paragraphs. I'm not going to read the last three paragraphs. I'm just going to read an excerpt from the third to last paragraph. You paying attention? Which she's talking about the archetypal hero of a detective story, and I'll just share that as my quote of the day. Okay, but down these mean streets a man must go, who is not himself mean, who is neither tarnished nor afraid. The detective in this kind of story must be such a man. He is the hero, he is everything. He must be a complete man and a common man, and yet an unusual man. He must be, to use a rather weathered phrase, a man of honour, by instinct, by inevitability, without thought of it, and certainly without saying it. He must be the best man in this world and a good enough man for any world. I don't care much about his private life. He's neither a eunuch nor a satyr. I think he might seduce a duchess, and I'm quite sure he would not spoil a virgin. If he is a man of honour in one thing, he is that in all things. The only thing I'd add to that is changing the sexist language to update it. It was written in the 1940s to include women. It used to be a big sort of distinction between heroines and heroes. I don't think that applies anymore, personally. So, yeah, make your woman as honourable as the man. Okay, see you tomorrow.